Honestly, that's probably the best looking yard in the neighborhood right now. We are right now. Oh yes, Doc's tired. Man, it's been an exhausting 2 days. So let me tell you what we're going to talk about in this video. We had our Bermuda grass actually start to come in and turn green, and guess what happened? We went back down to the 20s for like 3 days. So it reset everything. So now we're going back to square one, and we're cutting the grass, we're putting down fertilizer. Main thing I want you guys to understand, this is the time. This is when you start to get touching the high 70s and the 80s. This is that growth time. So if you're starting to get into that zone where you're in the 70s, 80s, regardless of the grass, put down PGF Complete. If you're high on phosphorus, put down PGF Complete 1608. But that's what we're doing. We're cleaning up that yard over there. Coming over here, we've seeded this. If you've been following us, we're doing some crazy stuff on this lawn. So we're fertilizing this. We're putting dirt booster down. I had to use the my DR brush mower to cut all this back area because John is gone for this week, so I had to load that up. I was up cutting the fields last night. We finally got in our electronic spreader for the back of our UTV, so I went up and I'm putting out dirt booster on the new garden up there that we've overseeded in clover. Just crazy. So I'll just run you through some stuff. Main thing is if you're unsure of what you need to do at this time of year, get the Bermuda Lawn Guides, or get the guides, the lawn guides. Now there's 3 websites. There's a Bermuda website, a Zoysia website, and a Cool Season website. They're free. We don't want your information. You don't sign up for anything. You don't download anything. There's calendars. All your questions are answered there, whether it's seeding, bugs, grubs, everything. Use them, guys. So many questions I see in the comments are answered in the guides. So get the guides, use them, and read them. So here we go. Ooh, it's kind of cold out here today. We're dropping down in temperatures again. Anyways, I want to break in here real quick, guys, and I want to talk to you about PGF Complete and why for years it's the only fertilizer I've used, and I helped develop it with the Andersons. PGF Complete really was only sold to the professional market for years. So you have golf courses, sports turf industry, professionals, and that's it. It really wasn't available to the consumer. So we went to the Andersons and we said, look, let's package this up where the consumer can buy it as well too. And why? One of the key elements of PGF Complete, not only does it have all the nutrients you need, not only does it have micronutrients, not only does it have iron, it has everything you need, but particle size is so critical. So I want to pop up a video the Andersons actually made about particle size. This is a really cool video, and it'll explain why particle size is so important on lawn fertilizers. Guys, I can't emphasize that enough. When I go, if I've ever bought for like the back area some of this cheap big box fertilizer, it looks like rocks, it looks like pebbles. And you have a piece of, you have a granular, like one over here and one sitting over here, and it's like, dude, how is all that grass supposed to get the nutrients? And that's why one of the things we developed was Green Shocker, because it's the size of salt. And you talk about particle distribution. Anyways, let me shut up and I'll put up that little video from Anderson.
The analysis on the outside of your fertilizer bag doesn't tell the full story about what's inside. While the percent of nutrients is important, it won't have the intended impact unless those nutrients are evenly dispersed and reach the root system. Big box retail fertilizers contain large, uneven particles. This creates a problem when spreading on your lawn. The large particles can potentially be carried off with mowing, heavy rain, or irrigation. The Anderson's professional grade fertilizers include dispersing granule technology to deliver uniform small particles. The small particle size gives you twice the number of particles per square foot at the same application rate as the other guys. This provides a full, even coverage of your application area for professional results.
Kind of a weird feeling. We're over here at the old house. It's kind of weird to come back to an empty house that you've lived in for, what, 7 years now? So we're all moved over to the farm property. But today we're going to talk about, good Lord, birds. Today we're going to talk about this sort of reset that happened because we had this cold front come through a few weeks ago and just reset everything. Froze out and killed everything. So let me show you where the lawn sits right now. We basically have done nothing to this lawn for 3 weeks except put down fertilizer. So every other lawn in the neighborhood is solid brown, but we definitely have some decent growth coming up. Let me give you an example of how this freeze has reset everything, not just the grass. So these, if you know my banana plants back here, these get up close to 15, 20 feet tall every year, and then we cut them down. Well, they started to come out, freeze came by, killed them all off. The knockout roses, everything was going great, and then look at all this. See these little brown tips here? These all have a little haze on them, so we're gonna have to come back, and I think what we're gonna do, they grow crazy anyways. We're just gonna come back and we're just gonna shear these down, get them under control. Okay, so we're using the big McLean out here, because the only reason I'm using that, the True Cut. The only reason I'm not using my McLeans right now is I honestly haven't serviced them yet. I haven't sharpened the reels or anything. But this is where I'm taking it down to. So I would say that's between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. Not too bad, nice and tight. I mean, it's finally starting to kick in. We're putting down PGF Complete and we're watering. If we're not getting rain, we're watering. That's one of the key. I'm driving that fertilizer down. If I wanted to come out here with some PGF Balance, or if I want to come out with some Green Shocker and really get this thing going, I could, but you know, we don't like to push our lawns excessively in the beginning in that start phase, but now is time. I mean, it's hot out here, dude. We're in t-shirts and it's gonna be sunny. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna cut this, and then right after I cut it, I'm gonna run the irrigation system. Tomorrow, I'm gonna run the irrigation. Even though I got 3 days of rain coming up, I'm gonna push this fertilizer down in, push the nutrients down in. So in the garage, look what I found. I found a bag of Humichar. So we've been treating this lawn with Humichar for years now, and it doesn't need any more, plus we're selling the house eventually. So I'm taking this over to the new lawn and I'm gonna pound this down on the new lawn. We've been reseeding and putting dirt booster out there because we're starting to get into those warmer temperatures where the mycorrhizal fungi can actually start to grow. I'm not gonna take this down to my normal 1/2 inch. I think we're going to keep it at about 3/4 of an inch. And the reason being is I want this grass to get a lot of sunlight. If I really want this to kick on, I'm going to leave it at 3/4 of an inch. If I want to change that later, I can, but not really worried about it. We're out here, we're doing a pool service. We're having to do a full pool service. We need to pressure wash the pool deck. We need to pressure wash the diving board. We probably need to cut the putting green. Putting green is just looking so good, man. So good. I might also give it a cut. I'm waiting for new tires on my truck. I want to get some 10 plies on there for the farm because all the bumps and gravel and stuff. I might also give this a cut. dirty. It's not too shabby. Ooh. Oh man. So Ryan and I spent most of the day over at the other house doing all that yard work, doing all the cutting. And I came home and I was doing some stuff and I looked out back and I was like, damn it, I gotta go cut this grass again. This is newly seeded and I keep telling you guys, do not let your grass get long. You've got to keep cutting and cutting and cutting. You want to keep it short. We've put down PGF Complete here and we put down Dirt Booster. And man, it's just growing. I literally can come out here almost every day and cut this grass. That's how fast it's growing. I cut this 2 days ago and I'm already cutting 2 inches. It grew an inch a day out here. I'll tell you what, when you got 2 yards to take care of, it's a damn full-time job. Woo, so we spent several hours over at the house, and then I got some new tires on the truck while we were doing that. Came back here, realized this stuff is growing an inch a day. This yard back here, it's growing an inch a day. So I came out here, have to cut it because I've got seed down. Now I'm going to water it. We've been putting down Dirt Booster and PGF Complete on this. We've got the seeds down. And I got my new well pump put in. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, I show them installing the new submersible pump in my shallow well over there. And that's what we're running our irrigation on. Okay, so today is 45% chance of rain. Tomorrow 75, Saturday 95. Actually Saturday is going to be kind of cold. It's going to be a high of 48. Time to light the wood stove. But pretty much the rest of the time is, you know, 70s and nice weather. 10 days from now I'll be back up in the 80s. But I've got 3 days of rain. So anything, I've got rain coming in this afternoon about 2 or 3. Anything I need to get done, cut and seeded, I have to get done. So last night, after all the work we did on the lawns, the old lawn and this lawn, I had to come out and I had to cut the fields up there. So today, if you watch my channel, you know that here's the house with the lawn, and then we put in this big beautiful green field up to the barn, and it's just gorgeous. But we're getting ready to seed this with, if you watch my last seeding video, Combat Extreme, which is a mix of, excuse me, not Combat Extreme. We're going to put Kentucky 31, just cheap Kentucky 31 back here. Get some fescue growing, because this is annual rye, and in the heat this will die off. So, but John is in Florida. He normally cuts it. I've got to cut it. So today, I'm actually using my DR Power tow behind Pro 44T. I'm using that as a mower. I could offset it. It has a feature where you offset it, but I'm just trying to get everything done at this point. Whew. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ride all the way up to the road, and I'm gonna put this cheap Bermuda grass seed that I bought at Lowe's. I'm gonna put it on the road front, because that's where we're gonna have Bermuda. So, I mean, we have close to a quarter of a mile of road frontage, and it's, you know, 15 yards. And I have a guy come by twice a month and cut this, but it needs to be in Bermuda because it's just dry as hell. Man, we go from 80 degrees, sweating our butts off out here, and today, right now, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 44 degrees, 43 degrees. You can see the steam on the pond. Pretty peaceful out here, actually. So we've got down all of our seeding. I have a few more things to do up in the fields. We've got down most of our fertilizer, and this is the time, guys, I just want to drive this home to you that this is when you really want to be pumping down PGF Complete. Now, the bag rate is actually pretty light, so you can put down PGF Complete, you know, every 2 or 3 weeks, put down a light coat, put down a light coat. That's the whole purpose behind these small granules, is to allow you to do actually light coats of fertilizer rather than just going out once real heavy at 8 weeks or something. Man, look at that fog. You can tell the pond's heating up a little bit. Anyways, I'm getting ready to split some wood, go in, light the wood stove, and relax and enjoy the view and enjoy the wood stove. So, hope you liked it. I'll talk to you later. Doc.